We're going to start off with Stellar Blade, ladies and gentlemen. Now, obviously, the discussion right now around Stellar Blade is whether or not gamers won, right? Whether or not gamers won. Is the game uncensored or is it not? Okay, now obviously for the title, I used the word uncensored just because, you know, I wanted to get clicks. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Yeah, you know, we got to grift at some point, but I do believe it is uncensored to a point. However, I do consider this to be a win, granted a small win at the end of the day. The suits are still, some of them are still censored. There are pictures here that we're going to go over, but they added 2 alternative outfits to the game, apparently, and we're looking at these outfits right now. Now, these 2 outfits obviously look like the original outfits, right? They don't have the modernity cloth that's in the middle covering the good stuff, if you catch my drift, okay? Like, they're very clearly out there for everyone to see. And, you know, it is what it is, right? So they even have the extra thigh here. They didn't cover it up, right? The hip bones are exposed and all that stuff. It is basically like what it was before, okay? Now, granted, even though these outfits are fantastic, okay? These outfits are fantastic. There is still some censorship happening within the game. It is a small win, but there's still some stuff happening. Now, some people are saying, well, this outfit was not unlockable prior to the patch. I don't know if that's true. Okay, I don't know if that's true or not. But regardless, these are obviously censored in terms of transparency. If you guys can see on the left here, they're a lot more transparent. You can see through it. And on the right here, obviously they increased it to the point where it's not as transparent and you really can't see as much. They definitely did mess around with this. It's very clear. Whatever the story may be regarding this pictures, again, you can see it better here on the black one, where on the left, it's very clearly see-through. And on the right, it is not as much see-through. You can clearly see that they definitely played around with this, right? So at this point in time, it seems like what's happening, okay? It seems like what's happening is that they're trying to wave some sort of a white flag and essentially give everybody what they want, right? And I feel like every time you do that, things tend to get a little ugly, right? Because then both sides feel kind of screwed over, so to speak. And I think at this point, that's just what they're trying to do. They're trying to give everybody what they want. Hypnotic, they are new, not in a game before. Yeah, I know. I'm talking about the alternative outfits. I'm talking about like the 2 new outfits. They added those outfits into the game. You know what I mean? That's what I said. Didn't I say that? I could have sworn I said that. I mean, we're whatever. Regardless, yes, the 2 outfits are brand new. They added them to the game, and that's what I'm saying. Like they are trying to make it seem like they're trying to be for everybody, right? And it's just not gonna end well. It's not gonna end well, right? So here's the problem, okay? These outfits are great, right? Don't get me wrong, and they are definitely gonna make some people happy. I also think that what's gonna end up happening is that people are gonna get a little too happy and kind of take their foot off the gas, right? They're going to take their foot off the gas a little bit, and they're going to say, you know what? I got what I wanted, so to speak, and that was basically it. I'll put it to you like this. We definitely did get a win here. And the reason why I consider it a win is the following, right? I don't think they would have added these outfits had we not had such a big stink to begin with. A lot of people are trying to say, well, Grums had nothing to do with it because they didn't even receive the petition yet. And I feel like that's heavily disingenuous. And the reason why I feel like it's disingenuous is because even though Shift Up did not receive physically the petition yet, you guys got to understand Shift Up and Sony to an extent, but Shift Up has been paying attention to the online discourse that's been happening over Stellar Blade for weeks. Just because they haven't received the petition doesn't mean they don't see what's happening. It doesn't mean that they don't see the discussion that's going on right now. They don't see that fans are angry. They don't see that people are signing a petition. They damn well saw it. Okay, they saw exactly what's going down. So the people out there that are trying to say certain things because they just want to stick it to Grums or whatever the case would be, I don't care how you feel about Grums. At the end of the day, they absolutely saw the public discourse that was happening with Stellar Blade. Whether you want to include Grums's petition in there or not, it all fueled the fire. Every single bit of it fueled the fire. So I think what ended up happening is that they saw the public discourse. They've been talking about it for weeks. Remember, The guy who's in charge over at Shift Up, he said about 3 weeks ago that they've been having internal discussions about what to do over the backlash with the outfits. This is probably their answer. They figure that they can give kind of, they can give you like 2 new outfits that will make, gamers happy who were happy before the censorship, right? Like that's basically what they're trying to do. So at the end of the day, there's still a fight to be had. Keep in mind that do not let your foot off the gas. Okay. You can celebrate the win, and you could definitely use the win to own the chuds because, and I'm going to call them chuds because they like calling us chuds. You guys got to understand, you got to measure your win. And this is one thing I'll agree with on Grums. You got to measure your win in how fucking salty your enemies get. And they are salty. Okay, they are absolutely salty. You got Kotaku melting down. You got a bunch of people melting down, all because they added 2 new outfits that show some titties. You know what I mean? And it's amazing to me because they're the first ones who will say, oh, well, all you want to do is see some titties and you're mad because you can't see them. And I'm like, okay, well, now we got some titties and now you're mad because you have to see them. So it's amazing to see the amount of salt that's happening over some titties. Absolutely amazing. So I'm gonna take that as a little bit of an extra win in the situation. Okay. And also you guys gotta keep in mind too, this is not just one win. This is a second win. Actually, there's way more wins that we've had in Gamergate 2.0, but they're not as prominent as Stellar Blade and Helldivers 2 especially, right? But even Helldivers 2 is not even considered a full win because they're still not selling the game in the 170 countries that can't even access PSN. So that's a major fucking loser move in my opinion. So that's a whole nother battleground. But unfortunately, what ended up happening was that once gamers got their way in regards to the PSN, they kind of forgot everybody else who was affected in the other countries who can't play the game anymore. So that's why I say you guys got to not take your foot off the gas and realize that these fucking companies are just giving you kind of bones. And even though the bones are a win, they're still just bones at the end of the day, right? But take the win, run it around, obviously make these Kotaku urinalists lose their mind and have fun doing it because at the end of the day, they reveled in the fact that they got the game censored. They're the ones who got the hard R stuff removed. They're the ones who probably influenced the outfits to be censored in the first place. And now they're losing their mind over it, right? And in terms of the outfits itself, I mean, these are nice outfits. I'm not gonna lie to you. These are nice outfits. I kind of like this one a little bit better. Definitely nice outfits for sure. And you guys are gonna keep in mind too, when the game comes out to PC, the modding community is gonna have a field day with this game. It's gonna be fucking insane. I'm sure there's gonna be a nude mod like within 30 seconds of the game going live. So you're gonna have plenty of opportunity to have fun with the game. But I think at this point, this is probably the maximum that we're going to get out of Shift Up. But I would still give them as much, like, just keep your foot on the gas. Because at the end of the day, you got to realize they're making other games too. They're coming out with another AAA game. They kind of, semi-announced it or at least teased it. And we want them to realize what's up when it comes to a game like that. Like, hey, your first one was successful because of good promotion around censorship and whatnot. Don't fuck it up like you did last time, So definitely keep your foot on the gas, and I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good for sure. But shout out to Grums for continuing the petition and just absolutely killing it. Obviously, he's not the only one, but everybody's been celebrating aside from certain Kotaku urinalists. So we're gonna get into that.